He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Look, I don't know who TLC think watch their shows. I don't know if they assume people who watch their shows don't have jobs to get through, but I don't know on what God green earth they think they gonna give us a 3-hour show, bitch. I said, yeah, bruh, y'all almost did not get this review. I promise you. I was like I'm like, okay, the first episode, maybe that's just gonna be 3 hours. It ain't enough for 3 hours. I'm like, that's stupid. This is 90 Day. It's season 4, episode 1. However, what I noticed was the last hour is not happily ever after. The last hour is what's now. I don't know if I'm doing what's now. I don't know if I care. I believe what's now is also on their TLC app. So I'm giving y'all the 2 hours of happily ever after. Depending on how many people watch this show, this review, and ask me to do the what now one, I'll do that later. But I'm not doing no. Because it's two different sets of characters. I'm like, y'all got me fucked up. I have a job to get to, okay? But if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole Jaybird, dun 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 dun, and all that good shit. Y'all know to look in the description box below to follow me on Instagram, for my P.O. box, for my email address, to see who's singing my theme song, all that. Check the description box below. And also, you can shop my Teespring merchandise in the link below as well. So, first up, okay, in some of these couples, I did not watch them on their respective seasons. So don't be expecting me to know background of some of these people. I don't be knowing. So don't be in kind. Girl, you don't know. Nope, I don't. I ain't watch it. So first up we have why did this not pop up? Oh, I might have to re-put all this stuff. Okay, so first up we have Ashley and Jay. I gotta re-pop things in, but it's fine. Ashley and Jay, I did watch them on their season, and I don't know why they back. They get on my nerve, simply because I feel like their relationship is fully for television. It's fully for attention. It's some bullshit afoot, but let me give you what they gave me. So Ashley is 32, Jay is 20. Ashley has 2 children and has been engaged twice before. Now, on their respective, or their season just in general, they bring up how they met in a club in Jamaica. She was there on vacation and she met him, and she says he was this tall, handsome man, looking all good, dancing. I say, first of all, Jay looked every bit of 18, and that's not a man. Like Jay do not look like a man. I don't know out of what eyes she was looking through. Them beer goggles must have been real thick that night, but Jay don't look like a man. And the crazy part about it is, when she met him, he probably looked younger. I said, this what you think a man look like? That's why girl, you too old to think he look like a man. You just got a bad situation. She brings up how they had a strong sexual connection, and they said in the hotel room a lot. Well, because he was giving you Jamaican dick. Okay? And so, of course, that is sexual attraction. Girl, again, you too old to be thinking like that. But I digress. So he says for him, when he first noticed about her, was her blue eyes, because they were so blue and beautiful. And I said, just like the Night King, okay? Anyway, he say, they met, they was there. About 8 days later, he proposed. The crazy part isn't the fact that he proposed. The crazy part is she said yes. Anyway, so once they got to America, things wasn't so easy. You know, her best friend kept thinking he was cheating. She said he was not spending enough time with her. He said she was not communicating enough with him. It was out of back for bullshit or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying, they went and got married in Vegas. And then a couple days after the wedding, she found out that he was on Tinder, Tindering people or whatnot. You know, he like, oh, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a fine friend. He said, because I'm from Jamaica. I don't know anyone. So I did not know it was a dating app. I said, if you say so. It was some bullshit. Anyway, they have been married for 3 months. Okay, they've been married for 3 months. It's been 3 months since the whole Tinder gate, and they still married. Now, recently in real time, they say that she just again for the second time filed for divorce from Jay. So I mean, I really think like they do things around the show time to have people tune in to one thing or the other. Again, I think they both just for the show. Anyway, in the scene, we see them in the car arguing. I don't know where they go. I guess they going home and they arguing mainly because who was you on Tinder with? Why were you on Tinder? Why were you on Tinder? Why were you on Tinder? I'm like, girl, are you a broken record? I told you I didn't mean to do it. Look, he had all the excuses. He not giving her what she want, you know, as far as an excuse. So my thing is, he not gonna give you no excuse that's gonna make it okay. He should not have been on Tinder. Point blank to the period. But you keep asking him the same fucking question. Is aggravating. I'm gonna go get on Tinder my damn self to shut you the hell up. Okay, I don't want to hear your mouth. Let me go on Tinder. Anyway, she keep kind of over talking him, and he said, "You won't even let me. You won't give me enough space to talk." She then said, "I will give you all the space you need," and she pulls over and she lets him out on the side of the road and say he can walk home. I say, "Well, ain't that about a bitch?" Now I've done that to ex. For I was driving and we was arguing and he pissed me off and I drove way out far. And because we was arguing, he wasn't paying any attention. And I pulled over and said, "Get the fuck out." Okay. Ooh, he was mad. Mm-mm-mm. But, you know, we both live to see another day. Anyway, so she drive home, said, I don't care what's going I don't care. He can walk here. Okay. He got 2 feet. He can step it up. He talking to the producers and he says, you know, it's just so sad. I want to be with him. Said, she won't give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? She just thinks I don't want the marriage to be over. And I'm like, bruh, you 20 out here doing 20-year-old things. She's a grown woman with a mother of two who's just stuck on some dick. Y'all don't need to be together because he's not mature enough to be a husband, and she's also too immature to realize she wasn't ready for marriage. Anyway, and the whole time I'm wondering, where are her children? Like, are they with her? Does she have custody of them? And like, when her and Jeff they're arguing, are they at the house? Like, does he pick the kids up from school? Does he have the home? Where are her children? Okay. Anyway, we never see her kids. We just see her kids on their season, and we ain't seen them yet so far. So, he gets to the house. He didn't walk there. I'm guessing he didn't. It wasn't too far from the house. So when he gets to the house, he's like, well, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? He basically say, you know what I'm saying, look, he said some little words. I didn't mean to do this. Yes, I did it. I was wrong. I should not have been on Tinder. Yes, I was on Tinder. I shouldn't have done this. However, I love you. You love me. We're a big happy family. I'm like, Barney? That's a Barney song. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. What a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me? I can't think I remember the song. But he did say, like, I love you, you love me, or whatever. And we've been fighting for over a year. So, for this visa. So we should keep fighting for our marriage. And you ruined it in 93 days. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's true, too. And I have to find out. And what if I find out you did more stuff? Like, what if more stuff comes out? Because he ain't really admitted to what or how far he's gone with it. But I feel like at this point in time, any girl can come up and say he had sex with me and she gonna believe her. So it is what it is. Anyway, he like, I'm sorry, can't we just work through it? And she says, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever decision I make, it's gonna be a final decision. Because if I choose to divorce him and he's sent back to Jamaica, he can never come back to America. So my decision is gonna be a final decision. But I'm like, well, it looked like you made a decision in the current time and you're gonna divorce him. So I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's what we get with Ashley and Jay. Okay, next up we have Chantal and Pedro. I hate I have to pull these pictures back up because it just where is, oh, there you go, Chantal and Pedro. So we have Chantal and Pedro. Now I did not watch their season. So Chantal and Pedro are both 27. He is from the Dominican Republic. She's from Atlanta, Georgia. So they have been married for 2.5 years. Now see, for them, my hair is on my ear and it's making my ear itch. You know, they were introduced through a mutual friend. He was then teaching her Spanish. She said how they fell in love, even though she never thought that she would marry anybody or date somebody from another country. Now, she brings up how she did not tell her parents or her family why he was coming to the States or anything about them getting married. Like, they knew nothing, even though he came here after they applied for the K-1 visa. So I'm like, well, that's a big shocker. You can't invite a whole man from another country and then, want to marry him and then not tell your family. That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Okay. So they then had like both their families meet. So his family came here from the DR to meet her family, and shit got crazy. Okay. Shit got crazy and everything. So you see how like her family was saying to him and his family, y'all think we just stupid Americans with mental issues, and and then they also brought up how his mom used him to get to America, or trying to use, or no, use him to find her to get them to him. I don't know. It was a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. We then see the whole family like at a dinner. No, we see her talking to his like mom and sister, and the sister called her a bitch in Spanish. Did you call me a bitch? Because she called her punta. She's like, yeah, because you are one. She's like, you whore. You were not disrespecting me. You fucking slut, bitch ass whore. I say that she say all the cuss words together and she walks away. So again, it was bad on both sides. However, her family hired a private investigator to look into him. I'm like, that was kind of crazy. And then we see the whole family was at like a family dinner, and they like, well, they all kind of getting loud. Then he tell her mama to hush up and be quiet. And like, what you mean? He then stands up and gets aggressive. Her brother then stands up and just stands up or whatever, like, what's going on? And when the brother stands up, Pedro gets up and makes his way to the brother and starts fighting the brother. I'm like, Pedro, you got up, went over and fought her brother? First of all, if that happened, me and Pedro would not be married. Like, you can't fight my... No, no, no. Mm-mm. Since the fight, he does not have any connection to her family or whatever. He wants to move away from her family. So looking at places to move further away from her family. And for the most part, their whole conversation was he feel like he isn't to blame for the strife between him and her family. She like, you do have a part to play because you fought my brother. Like, and how can I ever want to really like have kids with you and like stay married if you are really at odds with my whole family? She bring up how, you want us to move further away. I'm going to be giving up, my family to be with you. He like, well, technically, that's what I did for you. I left my whole family in the Dominican Republic and came here to be with you, and now your family don't like me. And I say, well, probably because you fought the brother. Like, that's the whole reason to not like somebody. You can't just be out here fighting brothers. It's just stupid. So they kind of going back and forth. Pedro, feel like, what I'm saying, I think they both want the marriage to work. But for the most part, their whole thing was arguing about whose fault it is that her family don't like him. And I'm like, well, from watching the goddamn clips, you find my brother is you. Probably her people too, but I think it's just a whole culture clash. They didn't know why he was coming here. They feel like he using you for green card, all the bullshit of it. At this point, though, they've been married for 2.5 years. Get over it, okay? But Pedro do need to like take some accountability. So we later on see how um he said, it's not my fault. Your family doesn't like me. Lies, yes it is. And then she's like, you need to learn to handle your temper. You know what I'm saying? You fought with my brother. That was your fault, and it was. He then say, okay, you're perfect, your family's perfect, and I'm a piece of trash. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of crying, and then she leaves. I'm like, this is it was too much of the same shit. I get the first episode is kind of reiterating or showing us why or how they got to this point and what the big issue is. So that's their big issue, that he fought the girl brother, and they're not too cool. So that was the most we got from Chantal and Pedro. I will say Pedro does seem to have anger issues. At the same time, Chantal, that's what happens. You bring a male from another country that you don't know. So next we have up a couple who I did watch last season. Colt and Larissa. Larissa is from Brazil. She's 32. Colt is from Vegas. He's 33. First of all, whoever had them in their confessional type scene ain't shit. Somebody just don't like Colt. This is why. Look at this, y'all. Whoever, as a plus size person, as a plus size woman, this is horrible. And he's a man. And I feel like they made it look like, first of all, he looks like he used to be a woman and he's just waiting to have the top half surgery and take his boobs off. I don't get how no one said, Colt, does it feel tight around your stomach? Like, no one said, Colt, do you want to change shirts? Like, no one said, Colt, do you want us to only shoot you from, like, the neck up? This looked horrible. And I'm not saying he looks horribly built. What I'm saying is someone could have advised him that he was having a Bruce Banner bust out the shirt moment on camera. And this was him though. I said, oh my God, the fact that they showed this, I said, y'all ain't shit. And this is the reason why I do not allow anybody to film me, record me, or take pictures of me while I am sitting down. Mainly because as a plus size person, you look stuffed sitting. Like everything is just like, it makes you look bigger. I prefer all my pictures of me standing up. Front view, okay? Because if not, that's just bad angles, okay? I'm already trying to lose weight. Don't you be taking no fucking photos of me from bad angles. And this looks like Colt titties that sit on his stomach and he don't have titties. And I'm like, bro, if you picked your whole stomach up and put your whole stomach above your jeans, that's fine. But you can't wear no tight ass button up and the button's about to break. Whoever shot this scene, whoever the producer was that was shooting this, you ain't shit. This is bad. This is I don't like you. I'm gonna make you look like shit. I'm gonna make you sit here and look like your titties finna pop out the thing, and you ain't even got titties. It's probably a stomach, but still, I'm like, he must have some tight ass skinny jeans to have his belly. Girl, I'm just. Oh, they wrong. Oh, they is wrong, baby. Anyway, let's get into Colt and Larissa. They've been married at this point for 4 months. Their thing has been all over social media, all in the news. Okay. Now they also have 4 cats. That's too many cats, in my opinion. They have 4 cats now because Larissa has her own cat who hates all the other cats in the house and she thinks Larissa cat thinks she's the queen of all cats. She almost don't like Colt either. I say, man, that cat gonna murder y'all. Don't do it. So of course they met online. Colt thought she was the woman for him. They met in person. He proposed 5 days later. She came to America and everything went crazy. Now, we know that his mom, Debbie, also lives with them, and that's how Debbie looks most of the time. Like, it's some bullshit afoot. So, Larissa, for the most part, as Colt said, she is jealous, emotional, and it's a bit unstable. And she is. She is. Like, no tea, no shade. She's like, she needs some medication or some therapy or just to go talk to somebody. I don't know who, bitch, if not me, then who? But some damn body. Anyway, she does not get along with anyone in his family. Not his mama, his cousins, no one gets along with Larissa because Larissa is the quintessential batshit crazy person. Like, it's something about her that some don't click right. I don't know if it's maybe it's because she's in a new country, the weather different, and her mechanisms in her body just don't react well to the warmness of Vegas. I'm not sure, but it's some bullshit. So again, Debbie don't like Larissa. Larissa don't like Debbie. It's a whole we hate each other situation. And they bring up how, and for the most part, Colt watches the debauchery happen, and he just sits by and like doesn't say much until it's all said and done. And then he say, we can't act like this. But motherfucker, why would you say something in the middle of it and just stop it? Okay, don't let it happen, let it play itself out, and then say, I can't believe that happened. Well, you didn't try to stop it. Okay? Try to stop it. Anyway, so we see how they bring up how right before the wedding, Larissa and Colt got into an altercation. This, again, was in the news or whatever. So Colt called the police, and Larissa was arrested. He says he never wanted her to be arrested. He said he was really calling the police for her safety, okay? Because he didn't want her to keep going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now she has a court case, like an actual trial to go to for domestic battery. I'm like, Lord. So she said she was locked up for 2 days. I was locked up for 2 days. Some people looked crazy. Well, like you. And then she said she also made friends in there who protected her. I said, well, 2 days? Like, how you get protection in jail for 2 days? Like, I'm like, okay, if you say so. So we do see Larissa go see her lawyer. But because Larissa can't drive anywhere, Debbie has to take Larissa to see her lawyer. I'm like, first of all, if that was me, Larissa would be on the bus. Okay, she'd be on the bus, a Uber pool. I wouldn't be her driver. Okay, Larissa brings up how anywhere she has to go, Debbie has to drive her. Because why? Larissa has nothing. Okay, she has nothing at all. So we see at her lawyer's office, the lawyer brings up how he tells her how, it's a misdemeanor charge. But even though it's a misdemeanor, it's still serious because it's still battery. He tell her what Colt told the police, where she was under the impression that Colt didn't tell them anything. And so he said what Colt told the police, like, you will always be fussing and yelling for no reason. You just be wilding, okay? And that particular night, you were yelling at him for no reason. You lunged at him and you were scratching him. So he called 911, hoping that they would calm the situation down, but you were arrested. She then says, well, that's not true. That's not true at all. You know what I'm saying? Cole doesn't do anything for me, like he's mean to me, whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about? He brings up how, he told me that he didn't want to marry me, and, he said and it made me upset. I said, why would you wait and tell me if I was upset? She then said, I may have pushed him away and hit him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then he called the cops. I said, you just described battery. You just said exactly what he said happened. You said he told you something, you got upset, started hitting him, and he called the police. It's the same. You just confessed on camera. Girl, she just, different country, different languages. The attorney's like, if you get found guilty, you can be deported. So I'm going to try to do my best, to not get you deported, because you can't take a plea, because a plea will still be you. Oh, my damn eye. He said a plea will still, get you deported. So we have to see what we can do. Girl, I know I can't see this nighttime. I'm trying to get this together so I can get this video to y'all. Okay. Anyway, so we then see Colt saying how he and Larissa don't talk too much now, because every time they do talk, they end up fighting and fussing. He said, you know what I'm saying, but I regret calling the police because it made things worse than what it was before. So they all just sitting at the table eating dinner. They all kind of waiting for her to, have a trial date or whatever. And I'm like, how y'all all just in the living room sitting there eating dinner? And like y'all just don't like no one looks happy. Like Colt don't look happy, Larissa don't look happy, baby don't no one the cats don't even look happy. So, when he said, well, how's things going? Like how, what your lawyer say? Well, I have to go to court. I might go to get deported or whatever. He's like, we not hope it doesn't happen, honey. I don't want that to happen. I'm sorry. I'm like, why is she's bad shit crazy, bruh. Bad the shit crazy. And it's all this tension in the air with them. So Larissa then say, well, if the worst things happen, Coolty, are you going to go to the White House and call Trump and talk? I say, Trump? He don't like you, girl. He wants you out of this country. Trump is not gonna bring you back. Okay, he wants a whole wall, not a half wall, a whole wall, punk ass. Anyway, Debbie then realized neither of them are wearing their wedding rings. She's like, why aren't y'all wearing your rings? He say, yeah, Larissa, why aren't we wearing our rings? She says, well, I got upset with Colty and I picked them up and I threw them. You did what? I flushed them down the toilet. I said, down the toilet, girl. Debbie pissed. I can't believe that. He spent money on them rings. Larissa say, his money is my money, so it doesn't matter. I say, girl. Debbie, y'all relationships stink. Y'all do not need to be together. Like, y'all should not be married. At this point in time, now Debbie and Larissa start arguing. And, all you do is sleep all day, and you need to be nice to me, says Debbie to Larissa. Larissa say, all you do is watch cartoons all day, and I'm the one that does the cleaning. I clean. You do nothing. I'm like, y'all is going back and forth. So the whole time, Cole is sitting there still eating the steak. Cut the steak up and eating it. They had some huge steaks. Okay, let's just say that. But they were too pink in the middle. Anyway, Larissa gets pissed off when she storms off. She goes upstairs. So, he's like, we family. We had to figure this out. It's kind of crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm stuck in between my mom and my wife, and I don't want to be stuck, and I don't want to have to choose sides, but I need Larissa to kind of, back off some. So when he goes upstairs to talk to Larissa, she said, no one, no one wants to live with their mother-in-law, but I said, we can live with her. I said, let's take care of her. I say, he was living with his mama before you got here. He was taking, he made that decision. He told you, if you come here, this is a part of my life. So you can't say that you said, okay, girl, the fuck about it. Anyway, and I'm like, not only that, he taking care of you. So she goes and she locks herself in the bathroom because she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to be here and she leave me be. And so he come downstairs and he's talking to his mom. And then she then comes out and she leaves out. He's like, where is she going? She go outside to the producer's van. She wants to have an interview in the van. She say, I came out here so they can't hear me. Because if they hear me, my life will be hell. I say, girl, it can't be no worse than what it is now. It can't be no damn worse than what it is now. You don't have any money. You don't have anything to. I'm like, you're like a piece of dust. I was gonna have a little heart attack. So, from the fan blowing. But girl, Larissa, this girl, she's a little bit bad shit. Little bit bad shit. Oh Lord, she's 3 more people. So that was a whole thing. Oh, that was so long. Next, we have Nicole and Azan. Wait, where is? Oh, yeah, Nicole and Azan. I think is his name. At least that's what we're gonna call him. Yeah, Azan. So she's 25, he's 26. He's from Morocco. She's from Florida. This one was a weird one for me. She's a mom, a single mom with a 4-year-old. She said the child's father is not around or whatever. So she met Azan on social media. He lives in Morocco. And then he brings up how we met in person. And at first it was weird because he didn't want any public displays of affection. But I'm like, he was saying that because in his country, they don't do that. And she was getting mad or whatever. It was weird. It was very, very weird. So, at the end of her trip, though, when she went, he proposed. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, she then say, I applied for the K1 visa for him, but he got denied. I say, but why did he get denied? I want to know what he got denied for. So she said because he was denied, she decided that her and her daughter would move to Morocco. Again, I didn't watch that season. So, she said before she moved, some kind of way somebody sent her some voicemails or voice messages of him leaving messages for the girls, asking girls to like kiss him or whatever. I said, girl, what's going on? But she said, I forgave him. And I went to Morocco. So she said when she was there, they had a couple of issues, mainly money, because the wedding was going to be very, very expensive. Too much money this, too much money that. So she said they called the wedding off. And so she's been back in the States for 7 months. Now, this is where shit gets weird. And again, I did not watch their season. She then says, because they're talking about how him and her would make money. She says, well, we had a plan to start a store, to start like a little storefront. We would sell whatever this and whatever that, and then like a beauty store. So he then said, well, yeah, like she put it, because we don't see him. We see the old footage of him. So he said, yeah, she put in like 5,000, 6,000. I put in like $2. Okay. So she has put up most of the money for this store in Morocco, not in Florida. Is it a gnat in here? I would go crazy if it's a gnat. And my God, look, because y'all know I had a whole thing with them fucking gnats. And I was going to blow this building up. I think I just seen a gnat. It could have been a piece of dust flying off my thing too. But I'm going to clean it tomorrow. Focus. Anyway. So yeah, the store was going to be in Morocco. So we see that she's back here. She lives with her sister because when she came back home, because she had moved to Morocco, gave all her stuff, she had nowhere to live. So her and her daughter lives with a sister. So, we see how the producers are talking to her, like how the store going. We see the sister asking how the store is going, and she told the sister, oh, it's going fine. It's going fine. When the producers ask her the exact same question, she say, oh, she admits there was never actually a store. There was never actually a store, but she did not want to tell her family, her friends, because she did not want them asking her all kind of questions. And I'm like, so where the money go? So I'm like, so technically, you here in America with your kid, living with your sister, and he's in Morocco with all your money spent. I say, Lord, he in Morocco spending all her money. All her money. So that's the most we got of them. It's something going on. She lying about something. I don't know what. But he seemed to be lying with her. So I mean, I gotta figure that out. I want to figure out what is going on because something don't sound right. So next we have Russ and Paola, or Paola, I think it's Paola. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but y'all know how I am. So Russ is 32, she's 31. They have been married for 5 years. They're pregnant with a baby boy. Now, I believe they must have been a popular couple. Again, I did not watch that season, but I kept hearing people talk about them when they were talking about the new season for, Happily Ever After. They met while he was working in Colombia years ago or whatever. And then they did the whole K-1 visa process. She got approved. She came to Oklahoma. And they were married 90 days later. Now, I will say they both kind of look different than what they did when they met. Like, when they were showing the background footage of them, I'm like, he looked different at every scene. I'm like, at some point, he looked like a lumberjack. Sometimes he looks like a model. I'm looking like, what? How did he? But I guess it's been, it's been a couple years, so that makes sense. Anyway, he said, we thought we would get married. It'll be happily ever after. But it's not, okay? For her, she brings up how because he lived in Oklahoma, she felt out of place there. She didn't feel like she connected with anybody there. Like the culture was different, and just not knowing anyone was just weird for her. So they moved to Miami. And, because she felt more comfortable with the culture in Miami and she could do modeling things or whatever. I mean, I feel like if you meet somebody overseas or whatever from a different country and you like, oh, this where you live, I feel weird if they move here and then they want you to move to different states. That's different. I think I wouldn't do that. Anyway, I wouldn't want to be with somebody who live in Oklahoma, but whatever. But again, he feel like he didn't really like the idea because it's more expensive living in Miami than it is in Oklahoma. So we then see how, she got pregnant and they were having a baby, but she then had a miscarriage. And when she had the miscarriage, the footage they showed of like her being mad at him and going on, I'm like, oh, she was mad, mad. Like, she can get an attitude real quick. I said, oh, okay. All right. Like I said, that's going to go. So she's like, it's over. Like, so she was trying to break up with him because she felt like he wasn't really there for her during the miscarriage. That's what I got from it. We then see how she say, but a few months later, I got pregnant again, and now I'm 5 months pregnant, and we're having a boy. And I'm like, she looked different in every scene too. So I'm like, what's going on? So, now they okay-ish, but they're gonna go to Oklahoma to see his family, and so I had to burp. She say how she just, his family don't like me, and it's weird for me to be there because I just feel out of place or whatever, and they don't like how I dress, they didn't like how I kind of carry myself or whatever. And when they showed the scene of her coming down to breakfast with her titties out, I say, that's why they don't like your ass. You can't come to your man mama kitchen table for breakfast with your titties out. Put your titties up, okay? Put your breasts up, please. So that was the most recent of them, that they're going to go back to his family and see his family in Oklahoma. And last but not least, we have Andre and Elizabeth. So I see these two, and when I seen, and he's 32, he's 32, she's 28. He's from Moldova, and I said, sorry, I had hot dogs with sesame seed buns, and the sesame seeds I can just pop it on. It's just so stupid. Anyway, he's from Moldova, and before I seen where he was from, I'm like, he sounds like Russian to me, or from over there somewhere. And she's from Tampa, Florida. Okay, so they have been married for a year. They've just moved into a bigger house because they had a little house before. She's 4 months pregnant, and they met on a dating app. I did not see their season either. I only saw Jay in Ashley's season, and Colt and Larissa. So they met a few years ago on a dating app or whatever. They dated for 8 months, and then applied for the K1 visa. I'm like, you know what? 8 months is a good time to date. Well, no, in other countries it's different. Anyway, her family did not like him at all. I can see why. I can see that he is different than their family, clear as day. Okay, and I'm like, girl, it's just different. So even though her family did not like him, they still got married. And I'm like, girl. Anyway, so he has a working visa, and he got like a thing to do trucking, driving, or whatever. But he does not have a full-time job. But she is the main breadwinner. She works for her father. She manages his retail, not retail, his residential properties, or his properties. We'll say his properties, and because she's the only one, making money, they can't really afford rent. So her father is letting them live in one of his rental places for rent free. Okay, rent free. So it's a 3-bedroom house with a pool. It's rent free. 3-bedroom rent free home with a pool in the back. It's whatever. She said, it's nice. It's our starter home. He then say, well, it's nice, but it's not really nice. You understand? But you know how your daddy is. And, he only really. I'm like, you don't have no money. You can't pay the rent, bruh. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Anyway, and I can see why her family don't like him. I'll say that. However, but he also brings up, I know how her dad is, and he's doing this for a reason, to kind of hold it over our heads that he's letting us live here rent free. Look, me and my mama just had a conversation. I'm like, Ma, I could just move in I could like get your whole your basement finished off. It could be a whole apartment for me. I could just live in your basement. Like, not rent free. Okay, not rent free. But definitely I'll pay less than what I'm paying here. But I mean, I wish, for a parent to give you hey, this is one of my rental properties. You can live here rent free. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. Just pay utilities. That's it. I'm like, you old ungrateful ass, Andre. Anyway, we then see her visiting her sisters. And when I see her sisters, I say, okay, now I can see why he don't like her family. I can see it from both sides, okay? The sisters, for the most part, mentions how, well, no. Elizabeth mentioned how my sisters, like, they love to kind of just, like, force themselves into things. Like, they kind of butt in when they're not supposed to. And they love to do that. And he hates it. And when she tells them how he doesn't want them to, like, fully engulf themselves in her pregnancy, all that stuff. You know, he wants to keep some of it, I guess, just for them. That is so wrong. I cannot believe how could he say that? You know what I'm saying? How can we be in too much? You know what I'm saying? You take all of us or none of us. I'm going to be there and help with the baby as much as I want to. You know, you having a baby is like us having a baby. And if he likes it or not, we're gonna be there. You know, the only part I agree with the sisters was when they said, you know, because you are dependent on dad for money and you're living in this place rent free, they're gonna have some kind of say in your life. When somebody else is paying your bills, they have the right to they can say shit. Like, my boss can't say shit about my home life because you pay me to work and I work you and that's it. Like, no one can tell me shit in life because I take care of myself. However, if I'm borrowing money from my mom, my dad, whoever, they can say shit to me because they're helping me live. Like, y'all gonna have to accept her family gonna be involved because they paying the cost for y'all to be non-bosses, okay? Andre, get a goddamn job, bruh. Now, the sisters is gonna get on my ever-loving nerves because I said, girl, you can be a sister and be involved and not be don't be in her coochie all the way. Don't do that, okay? But I digress. Anyway, so that was again. It was 2 hours. I recapped it in 41 minutes. That's not that bad. Again, if y'all comment about the whole, what's now, whatever it's called, was it what's now, what's up, something, whatever it's called, the third hour. That's not these people. It's some other people. If y'all want it, I'm gonna need y'all to say it because if not, I'm not gonna worry about it. Anyway, I am Jay Lee. This is JD's Corner. Peace.